Welcome to the training series following the nutrition guidelines for student nutrition programs. This series is designed to help you follow the Provincial Student Nutrition Program Nutrition Guidelines of 2020. The training series has been developed by Toronto Public Health for student nutrition programs operating within the City of Toronto. The information in the training series is intended to guide student nutrition program volunteers and coordinators, as well as staff or administrators at schools or community agencies who are involved in the planning, ordering, or operating of student nutrition programs. This training module will focus on protein foods and is Module 2 of a 4-module series. Toronto Public Health is not responsible for any misinterpretation or misuse of this presentation. The information in this presentation reflects what is known at the time of release only. This is the second of 4 modules in a series of training videos on following the nutrition guidelines for student nutrition programs. In order to receive a certificate recognizing that you completed the full training, you must complete all 4 training videos and complete a knowledge quiz. You may find it useful to have a copy of the Nutrition Guidelines Summary for student nutrition programs with you to help you follow along. You can access the Nutrition Guidelines, sample menus, and knowledge quiz by going to www.toronto.ca/student-nutrition-program/ then click on Training and Resources. Please ensure that you have also completed the food safety training available on the same web page. The key topics that will be covered in this module are a quick recap of the nutrition guidelines, meals and snacks, and finding information on packages, examples of protein foods on the serve list, label reading for protein foods, and examples of protein foods on the do not serve list. As outlined in Module 1, the Student Nutrition Program Nutrition Guidelines are used to create simple, nutritious menus for meals and snacks. A meal at a student nutrition program is considered a breakfast, morning meal, or lunch that offers 3 food categories: 1 vegetable or fruit, plus 1 protein food, plus 1 whole grain food. A snack at a student nutrition program offers 2 food categories: 1 vegetable or fruit, plus 1 protein food or 1 whole grain food. You will notice that for each food category, the amount of food or serving size is not suggested. When it comes to serving food at your student nutrition program, it is important to trust that children and youth know how much they need to eat to best satisfy their appetite. All children and youth should be encouraged to pay attention to these natural hunger and fullness cues. In order to easily select packaged foods to include in your student nutrition program menu, it is important to understand how to read the nutrition label included in the food packaging. There are 3 areas to find important nutrition information. The front of the package can give you some important information, such as % MF or milk fat in dairy products, or indicate if a product is a good source of a specific nutrient, such as fiber. But beware, it can also mislead you. So it is very important to look at the ingredient list and nutrition facts table to get the full picture. The ingredient list is very important. The ingredients are listed in descending order by weight. The first ingredient is in the food in greatest amount. Manufacturers change the ingredients in their food products over the years. So it is important to check the ingredient list often to be sure that it still meets the nutrition guidelines. We then have the nutrition facts table. Information in the nutrition facts table is based on a quantity called serving size. The serving size tells you the amount of food used to calculate the numbers in the nutrition facts table. The serving size is at the top of the table. The main nutrients to look for while choosing foods for your student nutrition program are sugar and sodium content. You want to be sure that the amounts meet the requirements for each food category. We will go into detail in future slides. It is also important to look at fiber content, depending on the food you are considering. The percent daily value shows how much or how little of a nutrient is in a food or beverage. 5% daily value or less means there is a little of a nutrient, and 15% daily value or more means there is a lot of a nutrient in the food or beverage. Fresh produce and items made in-house, such as fresh-made breads and bakery items, do not need to have a nutrition facts table. The last page of the handout, Nutrition Guidelines Summary for Student Nutrition Programs, gives you specific information on what to look for on a food package. We will now look at the protein foods category, then choose food products that meet the nutrition guidelines by reading the labels. Let's take a look at the protein foods category. This is on the third page of the Nutrition Guidelines Summary for Student Nutrition Programs. Several types of foods are included in the protein foods category because they are a good source of protein. Food types include milk, milk alternatives and dairy, plant-based protein foods, and fish, eggs, and meat. It is recommended by Canada's Food Guide to choose protein foods that come from plants more often. This is because they have more fiber and less saturated fat compared to other types of protein foods, which is good for health. In the following slides, I will go over what to look for in terms of nutrition labels, and I will discuss each type of protein food in this category. To help identify if a protein food meets the Student Nutrition Program nutrition guidelines, pay attention to these questions. The answer to these questions should be yes in order for them to meet the nutrition guidelines. Looking at the front of the package, is there 2% MF or milk fat or less for milk and yogurt? Is there 20% milk fat or less for hard cheese when possible? Is soy a beverage fortified and unsweetened? Looking at the nutrition facts table, is there 10% daily value or less of sodium for cheese, canned beans, lentils, hummus, canned fish, meat, and tofu? Is there 11 grams or less of sugar per 100 grams serving for flavored yogurts? We will look at some label reading examples for protein foods in this module. This slide shows some examples of milk, milk alternatives, and dairy to serve in the Student Nutrition Program. Please review the Nutrition Guidelines Summary for Student Nutrition Programs for more examples. Remember the values we covered in the previous slide? Here they are again. Hard cheese needs to have less than or equal to 10% daily value of sodium, and if possible, less than or equal to 20% milk fat. Plain milk and yogurt should have 2% or less milk fat. Flavored or sweetened yogurt should have less than or equal to 11 grams of sugar per 100 grams of serving. How do we check the sugar content for yogurt and the sodium content for cheese? Check the nutrition facts table to find this information. Does this strawberry yogurt meet the nutrition guidelines? Take a minute to think about this. You can also turn to the Nutrition Guidelines Summary for Student Nutrition Programs on page 3 for help. Alright, let's assess this together. Remember from the previous slide, we need to look at the front of the package and ask, is there 2% milk fat or less for milk and yogurt? The answer here is yes. This is seen right on the front of the package. Because it is a flavored yogurt, we also need to check the nutrition facts table and ask, is there 11 grams or less of sugar per 100 gram serving for flavored yogurts? The serving size in the nutrition facts table says the container is 100 gram serving. There is 10 grams of sugar in the 100 gram container. So this product meets the nutrition guidelines because it is less than 11 grams of sugar per 100 gram serving. What about for those children who may not drink cow's milk? The recommended alternative is fortified soya beverage. We need to check the front of the package and ask the question, is soya beverage fortified and unsweetened? It should not be flavored. Fortification means that extra vitamins and minerals have been added to food products. Fortification of food products is regulated by the government. Cow's milk in Canada is fortified with vitamins A and D. When choosing a soya beverage, make sure you see the word fortified listed on the package. Not all soya beverages are fortified. The package on the right states that the soya beverage is unsweetened, but it doesn't say that it is fortified. It would not meet the nutrition standards. Only fortified soya beverages contain nutrients that are found in milk, specifically calcium and vitamin D. There are some rice, potato, and almond beverages that are fortified with calcium, vitamin D, and other nutrients. But even when they are fortified, these types of drinks do not have the level of protein found in milk or fortified soya beverage. Here are some examples of do not serve items for milk, milk alternatives, and dairy in the protein foods category. Processed cheese slices and spreadable cheese should not be served in your student nutrition program. Cream cheese can be served as a condiment, but it does not count as a protein food. Why are these foods not suitable options in the protein foods category? Well, they are not a good source of nutrients such as protein or calcium. Remember, the purpose of student nutrition programs is to maximize the nutritious foods available to students. Chocolate or flavored milk is also a do not serve item in the nutrition guidelines due to its high sugar content. Please check the nutrition guidelines summary for student nutrition programs for the list of do not serve items. For a list of other condiments and minor ingredients that you can serve in your program and a miscellaneous do not serve list, please refer to page 3 and 4 of the Nutrition Guidelines Summary for Student Nutrition Programs. Let's test your knowledge so far. Which of these products would meet the nutrition guidelines for student nutrition programs as a protein food? Take a second to think about this. All right, let's have a look at this together. So cream cheese can't be served as a protein food, but it can be served in small amounts as a condiment. Chocolate milk no longer meets the nutrition guidelines for student nutrition programs due to its high sugar content, and so it is on the do not serve list. Fortified soya beverage that is unsweetened and unflavored meets the nutrition guidelines for the protein category. This slide shows some examples of plant-based protein foods that you can include in your student nutrition program. Look at the Nutrition Guidelines Summary for student nutrition programs and sample menus for more examples. Some examples include dried or canned beans and lentils that are drained and rinsed, hummus, baked chickpeas and plant-based burgers, and lentil or chickpea pasta. Choose products with less than or equal to 10% daily value of sodium per serving. Nuts and seeds are also a plant-based protein. Before serving nut and seed foods, always follow your school or center's allergy and anaphylaxis policy. Let's have a look at these two labels for hummus dips. What do we need to look for? Take a minute to assess which one meets the guidelines. Remember, we need to check the nutrition facts table and ask the question, is there 10% daily value or less of sodium for cheese, canned beans, lentils, hummus, canned fish, meat, or tofu? The daily value, or DV, needs to be equal to or less than 10%. The label on the left has 11% daily value of sodium. This is therefore not acceptable for a student nutrition program. The label on the right has 6% daily value of sodium and would therefore be a good choice for a student nutrition program. This slide shows some examples of fish, eggs, and meat to serve in the student nutrition program. Look at the Nutrition Guidelines Summary for student nutrition programs and sample menus for more examples. Some examples would be eggs, fresh or frozen fish or meat, canned light tuna, which should be drained and rinsed, canned chicken or turkey, also drained or rinsed. Choose products with less than or equal to 10% daily value of sodium per serving. What are some fish, eggs, and meat products that should not be served in student nutrition programs? Take a moment to think about this. Here are some examples of do not serve foods related to fish, eggs, and meat in the protein foods category. Canned albacore tuna is included because of the mercury levels it contains. Bacon, any kind of hot dog, and deli meats are processed and contain high amounts of sodium. Also, research shows that eating high amounts of processed meats can be harmful for our health. Please refer to the Nutrition Guidelines Summary for student nutrition programs for a list of do not serve items in the protein foods category. This module covered the following topics: examples of protein foods on the serve list, label reading for protein foods, and examples of protein foods on the do not serve list. This concludes Training Module 2 on protein foods. You can access Module 3, Whole Grain Foods, by going to www.toronto.ca/student-nutrition-program/ then click on Training and Resources. You can also visit the City of Toronto's website, which is updated regularly with health advice and information. For more information on nutrition in student nutrition programs, go to www.toronto.ca/nutrition. toronto.ca/student-nutrition-program/, then click on Training and Resources. You will find information such as the new guidelines, sample menus, COVID-19, food and safety and nutrition resources, and training videos. You can get answers to specific nutrition questions by emailing snp@toronto.ca. For food safety questions, email dinesafe@toronto.ca or call 416-338-7600 or 311.